exponential search. Exponential search, also known as exponential binary search, is an algorithm used for finding the position of a target value within a sorted array. It is especially efficient when the element to be searched is close to the beginning of the array or when the array size is unbounded or infinite. So, naay duha ka klase ang exponential search or naa siya duha ka kwan. Ang una is exponential range finding, quickly find a range where the element could be. So, makita niya dayon ang range kung asa ang element. Then, binary search, apply binary search within that range. So, mag-apply siya binary search ang exponential search. So, ang binary search is nakasort na siya daan, then ang search niya is magsugod sa tunga. Then, ang advantages niya is fast for large, unbounded, or infinite size arrays. So, nindot siya sa mga dagko or infinite or unknown arrays. Efficient when the element is near the start. So, nindot siya gamiton pag ang element is nasa dool. Then, apod siya yung mga limitations. Requires the array to be sorted. So, kailangan nakasort siya daan bago niya ma-perform. Then, might not outperform binary search for small arrays or when the elements are far from the start. So, dili maka-perform og binary search kung sa mga small arrays or ang elements niya is nasa layo sa one start.
So now let's talk about time complexity of exponential search. Time complexity of exponential search is a combination of two steps exponentially finding the range and binary searching within that range to find the target element. So the first is the first is the best case, which is the element is at the first index. The algorithm checks the first position and immediately finds the target. Start at index 0, which is array 0, which is array 0 is equals to 1, which matches the target. So the example is the index is 0. The index is 0. Index is 0, which indicates that array is 1. That makes sense, which is this makes the best case in the exponential search. The next case of the exponential search time complexity is the average case. In the average case, we assume that the target element is somewhere in the middle of the array, so the algorithm will do a few exponential jumps to find the general range. So let's just say we're going to find 10. So example here, this is the example. Let's say the target is 10, which is at index 4. So here the index 4. So let's do the exponential phase. Step 1. So index 1 is equals to 4, which is too small, which is not equal. So we're going to double again and we're going to do the few exponential jumps. So 1, and we're going to do this 1, 2. So the step 2 is the index 2 is equals to 6. Since it's still not found, so we're going to double it again. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So step 3, index 4 is already found. So the pattern here is we're going to find it at the first index, which is 1, the next is 2, next is 4, and next is 8, and so on until you will find the target. So let's just say that you didn't find the general range of your target. So that comes the binary search. So binary search, the array is unbounded or very large. You want to quickly find the range where the target might exist. Then use efficient binary search within that range. So here's how to use binary search into our exponential search. So example here is you want to find the number 14 of the in the array. So step 1, exponential range finding, starts with index 1. Index equals index 1 is, and double it until array index is greater or equal than 14. So step 1, I index 1 is equals to 4, which is this, the first, the index 1. So 4 is smaller, 4 is less than 14, which is true. The next step, it will double and will do the exponential jump. So 1 and 2, so index, so we're going to start at, I'm going to double it, 1 and 2, which is index 2 is equals to 6, which 6 is less than 14, which is true. And we're going to double it, and will come 4, which is index 4 is equals to 10. So 10 is less than 14, which is true. So we're going to double it again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is the part that you didn't find the general range. So in index 8 is equals to 18, which is 18 is greater than 14, which is false. Now we know that target is between 4 and 8, that's the last exponential jump we do here. So the next step is apply binary search in index 4 and 8. So the subarray is 10, 12, 14, 16, and 18. So using the binary search in the middle, so 4 plus 8 is equals to 12, divided by 2 is equals to 6. So the index 6, which is 14, is already found. Here, this is the index, which is equals to 14. And that's how we use binary search and exponential search. The next case of the time complexity of exponential search, which is the worst case. It shows the slowest or most work of the algorithm might have to do. So worst case is equals to the slowest or most work the algorithm can take. Help us understand the upper limit of how much time or effort the algorithm needs. So here's the example. Suppose you have to find the number 7 in this list. So only here we got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So you check each number one by one from the start. Since 7 is not in the list, you have to check all 5 elements to be sure. So the algorithm does the maximum work checking every element. So here, since the 7 is not in the list, it will check every number until it will find 7. Since there's no 7, it will only say the number that it is not found. And that's all for the time complexity of the exponential search.
Everyone, so this is how we do the exponential search. So exponential search is a searching algorithm to find a specific element of elements or a number in a sorted array. Let's see how with an example. So we have a sorted array here, and we're going to perform exponential search to find this number 6. So let's see how. So exponential search always works with indexes. So we have index. So we already know that the index starts from 0 right here. So we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 5 indexes and 6 elements. Elements are values inside the indexes. So we always start from index 1, which is here. So index 1 multiplied by 2, which is equal to 2, and 2 that we have in index here, and the element inside the index is 4, which is not the equal to 6. So again, we have to multiply 2 by 2, which is equal to 4. And 4, here in index 4, we have the element 6, which is what the number we wanted to find. So this is how exponential search works. It multiplies every index by 2 until we find the target value. And it also combines with binary search. Let me tell you how. If suppose we wanted to find element 5, so we multiply 2 and we have to 2 multiplied by 2, and we go to the fourth index. We have 6 here, and we come back to this element 5. So that's how we do it. This is how we find combined binary search with exponential search. Thank you.
Let's go. Hello everybody. Welcome to the algorithm course. In this video, I'm going to discuss the exponential search algorithm. This is topic for data structures and algorithm. These, these are There are 4 steps to follow in general. First, we have to make sure that the one index array of an element is already sorted. Once index here means that index starts with 1. Number 2, we have to find out the value of I which is at least 0, such as the target should lie on the interval with indices 2 to the power of I and 2 to the power of I plus 1 minus 1. Number 3, if n is smaller than 2 to the power of I plus 1 minus 1, then we use the interval to be between to the power of I and n. Finally, we do the binary search process on the chosen interval. Now let us see how we find out the value of I. So first process is if the target is smaller than the first element or the target is larger than the last element, which is indicated by the index n, then we say that the target cannot be found. So number 2 process, if it is not the case, we have to find out the value of I. So we start with I is equals to 0. So number 3, while the target is larger than the array element corresponding to an index 2 to the power of I minus plus 1 minus 1, then we increment I. That means we add I by 1. So process number 4, if a target is smaller than or equal to the array element corresponding to index 2 to the power of I plus 1 and then minus 1, we're able to do the binary search on the interval shown in the slide, which is corresponds to array element with index to the power of I. And then in the ending element is having an index of 2 to the power of I plus 1 minus 1. This is we start for code tracing by by seeing this code. This is the code of exponential search. Here, as we can see, there's an array tag. There's an array. There's an array. Code tracing on exponential search. Now, as you can see, this is the code we need to trace. So now let us see an example. Suppose I want to do the exponential search on these numbers, and these numbers are already sorted. This is the values that already sorted, and the index also here 13, and the target we need is 31. Now first we can see now we can see the first element in the array is smaller than or equal to the target. The first element is 3 and the target is 31. Also, we can see the final element, which is 45, is actually larger or equal than 30 than target, which is 31. So we can expect that the target is likely to be in the array. Then we can find out the value of I. First, we start with I is equals to 0. And then we see the element of that the array element of index 2 to the power of 0 is actually array 1, which is equal to 3. And then we check the another index, which is I to the power of I plus 1 minus 1. Since I is 0, this particular index is actually equal to 1. So both numbers are equal to 3. So we can see that both numbers are smaller than the targets, which is 31. That means we can increment I. So we take another interval. Now we choose I called B1 because I equals 1. The left hand side of the interval is equals to the index number 2, which is correspond to the value of 5. And the rightmost elements of the interval is equals to the array of 3, which is equals to 9. We can see that both 5 and 9 are smaller than the target. That means the particular interval is unable to contain our target. In this case, we increment the value of I. Now we choose I is equals to 2. 2 to the power of I becomes 4, so the fourth element in the array is equals to 11, while the seventh element of the array is equals to 22. Now we also see that both numbers which are 11 and 22 are smaller than our target, which is 31. That means this particular interval isn't able to contain our target. That means we have to increment I. Now increment na. Now I become 3, and we have to check whether the interval corresponding to those indices can contain the target. The leftmost element in the portion is equals to 27, which corresponds to the 8th element of the array. When we use the given formula to find out the rightmost element, we find that the corresponds to the index 15, which is not really present in our given array. So the 15th element of the array is undefined. Which is not really represent our given array. So the 15th element of array is undefined. The array element does exist. We have to just use the value of n as our right hand value. So the array of n corresponds to array of 13. That means the 13th element of the array, which is just 35. Now, since we already know that the two numbers can really contain the target, the interval is already determined. Then we can the binary search, particularly to find out the target. Why I am no. Then we can do the binary search on this particular interval to find out the target. Why I am so confident? Because the left hand element is smaller than the target. And also the rightmost element, which is 45, is larger than the target, which is 31. Now we pick up the particularly interval to do the binary search for target which is 31. Now first we have to set up the low and high indices. The low index corresponds left hand and the high index is correspond to the rightmost elements. Since the low index is smaller than or equal to high index, I can find out the mid index according to the formula shown here. Then I'm able to find the mid index is equal to 10. So index number 10 is correspond to 32. 32, which is here. No, this is the 32 in index 10. Now, we know that value of the mid element is actually larger than the target. Now, means we have to choose the first half to the further division. Now, because we want to pick up the element, to pick up the left hand portions, we have to update the value of high index to mid 1. So now high index becomes 9. Now the new portion only has 2 elements, since we know the low index is still smaller than or equals to the high index. I can still use the formula to find out the mid element, which is correspond to element 8, which is 27. The element is 27. And we can see the target is larger than or equal to the mid element. In this case, we have no way but to choose the second half of the particular portions we are concerned about. Now, this is what I discussed for. Now, we update the low index to mid plus 1. So now the low index become 9, which is actually equal to the high index. Now we only have one element left to consider, since the low index is actually equal to the right index. So I can use the formula again to find out the index, which is actually equals to 9. Now we see the middle element is actually equal to 31, which is also equal to the array of high and array of low. In this case, we can see the target is really equal to the number to that number. We can now see that the target is equals to the middle element. That means the target can be found at the index number 9. And the search is done because we can finally find out the target from our given array. So we can see that we found the target at index 9, which is 31. And this is how exponential search works.
Today, we're going to explore exponential search, an efficient search algorithm that bridges the gap between linear search and binary search, particularly useful in large or unbounded datasets. Imagine you have a sorted list but you don't know its size, or the target value you're searching for could be near the beginning. In such cases, linear search might seem simple, but it's inefficient, checking each item one by one.
Binary search is fast but requires knowing the boundaries of the array. That's where exponential search shines. How Here's how it works. 1. Start at the first element. If it matches the target, we're done. 2. If not, it begins doubling the search range. Check index 1, then 2, then 4, 8, 16, and so on, until it either finds an index beyond the target or reaches the end of the data. 3. Once this upper bound is found, a binary search is performed between last known lower beyond in this upper bound. This approach means if the target is near the beginning, it's found with a just few checks. If it's further down the list, exponential growth quickly narrows the search range after which binary search takes over. So what the big advantage? Compared to linear search, exponential search makes dramatically fewer comparison, especially in large datasets. And while it's not always faster than binary search, it's particularly effective when the data is unbounded or streaming, or when you expect the target to be close to the start. In short, exponential search offers a smart balance. It's adaptive, efficient, and well suited for many real-world cases where we can't assume perfect knowledge of data structure.
Now let's talk about its advantages. First is efficient for large or unknown size datasets. Exponential search is incredibly useful when you don't know the size of the dataset. Think of infinite data streams or dynamically growing data structures. This algorithm can still work effectively. Second is fast identification of the search range. By doubling the index step by step, it doesn't waste time scanning every item like linear search would. It locates the probable range quickly and effectively. Third is maintaining the performance of binary search. Once the proper search range is found, exponential search transition into a binary search, so you will still get time and complexity usually around order of log n. Next is limitations and challenges. Like any algorithm, exponential search comes with its limitations. First is it only works on sorted arrays. Just like binary search, exponential search requires that the data be sorted in advance because without that, it simply won't work. Second is slightly overhead when array size is already known. If you already know the size of the array, using exponential search adds an unnecessary step. The exponential probing, in this case, binary search will be more straightforward and efficient. Third is not suitable for small datasets. For smaller arrays, the exponential phase can actually slow things down as it introduces extra steps that aren't necessary. A simple linear or binary search would usually be faster in these scenarios. Next is comparative analysis. So, how does exponential search compare with other algorithms like linear search and binary search? So, compared to linear search, exponential search is significantly faster. Linear search checks every single element one by one, which, which takes order of n time. Exponential search, on the other hand, narrows the search space logarithmically, often find results much quicker. Compared to binary search, when the size of an array is known, exponential search performs about the same as binary search, with only a small amount of overhead, but when the size is unknown or unbounded, exponential search clearly outperforms binary search. This is because binary search cannot begin until it knows where to stop. Exponential search clearly works around that by finding the bonds first. So, to wrap it up, exponential search is a smart algorithm that blends the best of the both worlds. The quick range discovery of linear search and the other efficient divide and conquer approach of binary search. It is best used in situations when the array is sorted, but its size is unknown or extremely large. While it may not always be fastest option for small or static dataset, it's an excellent choice in dynamic scalable system.